Let me just stop you right there. Ecclesiastes is not a self-help book, and I don't think anyone who's ever read it would accuse it of that. But I wanted to start the series off by pointing to the ultimate source of healing, Jesus, and how he has used his word to heal certain parts of my soul. Welcome back, the channel's by Kiki. I'm your host, the whale from Jonah. Nah, it's me, Kiki. Now let's go ahead and talk about the optimist of the Bible here, Ecclesiastes. I'm no Bible scholar, I'm no theologian, I'm just a pastor's kid. So, take everything with a grain of salt, a little bit of discernment, and a whole lot of prayer. Wrapped up in this proverbic philosophical poetry are the results of an experiment. The speaker of Ecclesiastes is looking at everything under the sun. That's the parameters of this experiment, testing everything with wisdom and discernment. The question he's seeking to answer is, what should man strive for during the short days of his life? He talks about money, power, politics, wisdom, righteousness, folly, madness, and all of this he calls vanity, striving after the wind. Kiki, that's nihilist coded. This is just Solomon in his depressed era. We shouldn't listen to this guy. Well, honey, may I firstly remind you that this is wisdom literature in the Bible. So already I think we need to take careful heed of this. Secondly, I want you to go to said book of this Bible and read chapter 12, verse 9 and 10, okay? Now I may be misinterpreting this, so go talk to your pastor, but it seems to me that it's saying that there be diamonds in this rough. So I want you to be careful about disregarding the whole book of the Bible, okay? If the speaker is going to call everything vanity, then maybe we need to figure out what that word really means. The Hebrew word that's being translated is the word hevel. Hevel. It means a mist or a vapor, something that's temporary and elusive. Don't mind the rain. It's perfect timing, really. The speaker is not saying that things like righteousness and wisdom and money should have no place in our lives. In fact, in that same book, he says it's better to have those in surplus for different reasons. Again, I'm no Bible scholar, but for me, the biggest takeaway of this book is that a life lived in pursuit of external rewards is vanity. Now think about in Genesis, when Adam and Eve fell, the entire earth and everything in it suffered the curse. Adam's curse specifically was that he would work by the sweat of his brow and his own blood, but he would not receive the fruit that he labored for. The gift of work, because it is a gift, was tainted by the curse. The labor and the reward are disconnected, so people often don't get what they worked for. So what are we working for? Ecclesiastes 3:12 through 13. I perceive that there is nothing better for them than to be joyful and to do good as long as they live. Also, that everyone should eat and drink and take pleasure in all his toil. This is God's gift to man. And Ecclesiastes 9:10. Whatever your hand finds to do, do it with all your might. I want you to sit on that for just a second. A couple of years ago, God spoke to me through those passages, and I needed him to speak to me because I was listening to a lot of other voices in my life. I was convinced by the world that in order for me to be perfectly fulfilled, I needed some sort of dream, a goal, a pursuit that feeds my passions and fits me perfectly. Another voice I had in my head was that I was called to missions or ministry, and I come from a family of missions and ministry. But the sneaky thing about that one was that I was convicted that if I stepped off this path, I would not be pleasing the Lord. But that path gave me a lot of anxiety. I didn't feel equipped to this path. So when God spoke, he spoke to a girl who felt miles behind, who felt deeply incapable of taking responsibility for her life, and every road, at least in her mind, led to failure, vanity. Like you would reach out and there'd be nothing there. These verses in the hands of God moving in my life was like a scalpel removing cancer. At that time, God was saying, just live. Find something to do, anything, and do it to the best of your abilities, and ask him to help you enjoy it. For the joy of the Lord is our strength. I could go on all day about the different things God has used to help me change my perspective, change my heart, change my actions, and effectively change my life. And someday I will go on and on about it. But for today, before we move on to the outro, I want to leave you with this little nugget of knowledge. 2 Peter 1:3. His divine power has granted to us all things that pertain to life and godliness, through the knowledge of him who called us to his own glory and excellence. Did you hear that? You have everything you need for life and godliness today, through the knowledge of him for his glory. With that, thank you for watching. Go ahead and drop a like and comment down below. I do hope you found some encouragement here. I promise I'll actually start talking about self-help books next week. So if you want to tune in for that, please go ahead and subscribe and ring that notification bell. Till then, dear viewers.